What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. Hey, I just bought something. It's kind of a second piece of something I got from Vita XL. Got this on Amazon. It's a teak side table. It's 3 pieces, as it says here, and that's because it's actually like a nesting table. So I told you in my other video that I was looking for a little bit of new kind of furniture just to create a little contrast in a room that was really dark. And I wanted something wood, but in a light wood, like teak wood. And I also wanted something in teak wood because kind of its durable properties. In fact, this was sitting out in the rain, so we'll see how it looks after coming in from the rain. But what I liked about this thing is that because it was 3 nesting tables, as far as I could tell, it gave me some options. One, to have a lot of surface area to put things on, as well as kind of mix it up a little bit. So, yeah, a little tough to get this sucker out. Here we go. All right, now we're cooking. So here it is. They all come nested, and like I said, it kind of gives you the option of putting them all together. You can use, move the tables around. Maybe you've got guests over and you want to, put tables in front of people so that they can put their drinks down. The other thing is, if you look at my other video about that side table with drawer, this should be a match for it. And one other thing that I want to point out here is that if you don't like this style, there actually is or at least what I found, is that the company that does this not only does it in kind of this natural teak finish, but they also paint it. So there's a version where it's like a very multicolored, because they paint each of the boards a little bit different color before they sandwich them together and glue them together. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Looks like they put some spacers in the bars up at the front and the back here to keep them from getting crushed, which is actually pretty nice. And as you can see here, you can see, I guess there's no front and back per se. We have some nice nesting tables, 3 of them in fact. So let me pull out the big one here, because they're all basically the same. One thing I do like about this, as opposed to the side table with the drawer, is that the whole top is filled in. So you don't have to worry about anything coming through, because you can see here on the side, what you have are kind of like teak wood slats that are spaced out. So the top is completely filled, unlike that side table with the drawer. So that's kind of nice. It gives them more of a finished table look, more surface area. You don't have to worry about things falling through on the slats or anything, but it just gives it a little bit more of a traditional look. The other thing that I noticed on the other one too is that you can see the epoxy, so they put these slats together and then kind of put spacers in between and then glue them all together. You can see the epoxy runs because it's kind of getting squished out where they kind of put it together and clamp it together. Not a big deal. It's dark and it kind of blends in, but you got to understand, I think, that this kind of piece is going to be a little bit sloppy. That's kind of the nature of it. But it does stand up pretty high, and you can see through the legs here. And obviously it's open on the bottom, so it's really just a table. Let's take a look at the next one. Again, pretty much the same thing, just shorter. That would nest in there. And then the last one, again, shorter, narrower, but same deal. And this is what I was talking about. Let's say you were using this as a side table for a couch. Depending on how deep your couch is, you can have it go all the way to the back wall. Whereas if you only had one of these, it would probably make more sense. It's going to be pushed pretty far back, maybe out of the range of where your hand would naturally fall, or you'd have to use it as a side table for a bed, like a nightstand. But this kind of gives you something so that it can accordion in and out and really kind of fill from the wall to the front of the couch. So it's pretty nifty. Now the whole set here was only about a little over $100, I think. So I think it's pretty good value. You get a bunch of teak wood, 3 pretty nicely crafted and well-matched parts here for not a lot of money, especially considering how expensive teak wood furniture is, even a teak wood stump or a teak wood side table. So pretty impressed with it overall. And again, if you didn't want all of it, you could just tuck them under, so they're nice space savers if you live in a tiny house. And on top of that, you obviously don't need to keep them together. You can take them out, put them around different places so that everyone has a little bit of a side table. So I'm pretty impressed with this Vita XL in teak wood. I think it looks pretty good, and hopefully this kind of bright color will brighten up my room as well. I'll put a link to it in the description. Peter Von Panda out.